Hi, I'm Haley and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited because today I'm introducing a new series on my channel, which is a project pan. If you're not familiar with project panning, it is a thing that people do here on social media where you track the usage of your makeup and other items to try and use them up, get them out of your collection, and see how long it takes to use up makeup. Personally, I love watching project pans because I think it's so satisfactory to watch things get used up. And for myself, I love getting my money's worth and getting the full use out of items in my makeup collection. So I have 10 things here that I'm gonna keep track of over the next few months. I'm gonna do this as a rolling style project pan, so as I use things up, I'm just going to replace them with new things. I have different goals for all of them, and I'll get into sort of what those goals are as we go, but let's get started. So I'm gonna start off with something big and maybe a little bit challenging, and that is the Natural Lust palette from Too Faced. So this palette came out quite a while ago. I think that I got it in 2020 or 2021, so I have had it for a while and I've gotten a lot of use out of it already. As you can see here, I've already hit pan in a lot of the shadows and I'm really familiar with this palette and what shades I like and what shades I don't. And since I've had this for a while, I'd really like to get it out of my collection and kind of move on to other things. And so there's a couple of shades in here that I'd like to fully use up, hopefully before the end of the year. So I'm just gonna go through what those specific shades are. And then I think what my plans are for the rest of the palette is just to kind of use it because it will be out, but then once I've used those specific shades up, declutter the palette from my collection, because some of these shades, you know, are really powdery or chalky because they're older or just because of the formula, or, you know, like this one right here kind of irritates my eyes. So, you know, it's not an ideal palette, but some of the shades I do really love and I would like to fully use up. So those shades are gonna be this green shade right here, Temptation. So you can see that's a really beautiful yellow-green shimmer shade right there, which is gorgeous. Really love that one. And then the next one is this copper shade right here, Sassy Brassy, which is absolutely gorgeous. This is like such a signature shade for me. Really love that color. And then next up is Flirty Pop right here, which is a lighter coppery color. Let me see if I can get a better swatch. Kind of hard to swatch because there's so much pan already, which is a great thing, but yeah, it's a lighter, more sheer copper color. Not getting a great swatch on that, but it's really beautiful as kind of a one and done shade on the eye. And then next is Too Good, which is kind of a rose gold shade. Very, very pretty. That's this one right here. So it's sort of a cool tone. I guess it's less of a rose gold and more of a rose silver, if that is a thing, but it's very pretty. And then last is this actual silver shade right here, Ball and Chain, which I'll show you, which is very pretty. As you can see, all of these are very light reflecting and pretty. Really enjoy this palette, and I've gotten so much use out of it, as you can see. So I'd like to just kind of wrap this palette up, so to speak, and kind of, like I was saying, move on to other things. But I'm hoping to, I would say my goal is to fully use up those 5 shades, which I think I'll be able to do. I've already used up a lot of them, so I'm hoping I can track my progress over the next few months and see how much I can get used on those shades in this palette. So that's the Natural Lust palette from Too Faced. Then next up, I have a bronzer and a blush, both from Nars. I've had these for a couple of years. I want to say since maybe 2021 or 2022. And these are so hard pressed, you guys. I've used this probably several hundred times already, so many times, and you can still see the imprint of the Nars logo is still there, and there's not very much of a dip in the product. This is the Nars matte bronzer in Vallarta. It is a very light, pale skin friendly bronzer. I'll do a little swatch right here, but as I was saying, you can see how light it is. I'm not sure if you can see on camera, but It works really well for my skin tone, and I do like it, but it is super firmly pressed and hard to get a lot of wear on. So I'd like to see how much I can use this and hopefully hit pan. I would say that's my goal. I don't think that fully using it up is in the cards, but I do like it and I would like to at least hit pan in it. And then next up I have the Nars blush in Luster right here. So this is a very pretty shade. I think it's so great for spring, which is why I want to roll this in right now. It's kind of a coral shade with a little bit of shimmer. You can see it right there. And I like this. I think it's a really nice, very flattering shade for me. So I'd like to also just hit pan in this one as well. So these are gonna be definitely a challenge because like I was saying, I've already used them both quite a bit, but there's nothing really to show for it just because they're really firmly pressed, which gives you good value for your money for sure. But I'd like to just see if I can challenge myself to hit pan in both of these products. Next up, I have a lipstick from MAC. This is one of the Powder Kiss lipsticks in the shade Mull It Over, which is a pinky shade right here. You can see it's kind of a mid-tone rosy pink, and it's very flattering. I really like this. You can see I've worn it a lot already. You can see kind of the funny little wear pattern right there, but I think this will be really easy to use up. I've already used it a ton. Obviously it's really easy to reapply because of the formula. I do like this formula, but it's very slippy and silicone-y, which makes it not work as well for me for darker colors in the same formula. But with a lighter shade like this one, it doesn't matter as much if it goes outside of your lip line and things like that. So I like to use this up, get it out of my collection. I've already used it a ton, as you can see, but I like to just, you know, move on to other shades and see if I can fully use this one up. Then next up, I have a lip liner from NYX. This is one of the Suede Matte lip liners in the shade Kitten Heels, which is a really, I would say, true red shade. You can see that right there. And I've used this a lot already. It's pretty small. Right now, it's one of the older lip liners, if not the oldest in my collection, and you can see that it's pretty small already. I do sharpen my lip liners fairly frequently because I like a sharper point. I know some people will use it all the way down until you can't use it anymore before sharpening it. So I do go through lip liners a little faster than some people, I think, for that reason. I'm rolling this in because I want to challenge myself to wear a red lip more often, and I think this will help me do that. I think that you can fully use this up in a couple of months, so that is my goal for this product. Then next up I have a primer. This is a mini deluxe sample size primer from YSL. This is the Touche Eclat Blur Primer. I'm not sure you can see, but it's a pretty generous size. I've used it a lot already because you only need a little bit at a time, but there's still a lot left in here, and I think at some point soon the little applicator won't reach the bottom, but I know I can get in there with a pretty small brush. So I'm looking forward to doing that and finishing this up. This has been a really nice primer. It's kind of glowy and gives a slippy feeling on the skin. So a lot different from some of the more recent like primer releases that are stickier. But I do enjoy this. I think it definitely has its place in my collection and I want to fully use it up. Next up, another complexion product. This one is actually new to my collection, but I'm not loving it. So I'd like to kind of use it up so I can just be left with other products that I prefer over this one. And this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer in the shade Fair 10N. I think this is a pretty good shade match for me. However, I don't really love the applicator. It's kind of a flimsy, flat little doe foot right there. Good shade match for me. And the formula is kind of streaky and doesn't blend in that well on my skin. So I'd rather just use this up and get this out of my collection. So my goal is to fully use this up. I think it'll take me a couple of months at least because this is pretty much brand new. But you know, it's a challenge, and you know, I think there's a lot of occasions when I don't need my makeup to be absolutely perfect, and in that case I'll reach for this product for sure. Then next up I have a setting spray from Makeup Revolution. This is the Aura Fix setting spray with tiger grass. Honestly, I bought this because of the gimmick of the crystals that are inside the bottle here. It's just fun. I know it doesn't really like serve any actual purpose for your makeup. I just fell for a gimmick. Don't we all from time to time? But the other thing is that I rarely use setting spray, so it was silly for me to have even bought this, but I would like to use it up and get it out of my collection. You can see it is up to here, and I think if I make a concerted effort to use this over the next couple of months, I can get this at least lower in the bottle, if not fully used up. Like I said, I barely ever use setting spray, so I want to kind of challenge myself to come up with some other ways to use this product up. I think maybe using it as a primer or spraying it on an eyeshadow brush to kind of make the shades more intense. Both of those things might be some ideas that I might want to play around with. So like I was saying, I think my goal is to fully use it up, but if I get sick of trying to make myself use it, if I can get at least down to here, that would be great. And then I have a lip balm from Glossier. This is the lavenderbalm.com. You can see it's used down to here. This is from their older packaging before they changed the applicator tip. So I've had it for quite a while. I really like the lavender one. I think it's great for spring, and it smells and tastes really good, and I love lavender. So I definitely want to get this used up. I've had another one of these in a different flavor go bad on me before, so I'd really like to use it up before that happens. So I think if I spend the next few months focusing on this, I can definitely make some good progress. I'd really like to fully use this up. So we'll see you know, how far I can get down the tube. It definitely takes a lot of work when it's lower down in the tube like that. So we'll see what we can do with this one, but yes, I'd like to fully use this one up. And then last, I have two kind of fun things that I never really use and I like to challenge myself to get some use out of, and that is false eyelashes. So I have both of these Glamlight pairs of falsies, and they're both super intense and very bold look. I never wear false eyelashes, and I definitely never wear ones like this, but I'd really like to, like I said, challenge myself to use both of these up. So I'm hoping I can just kind of, you know, make them work, maybe trim them down a little bit, but see if I can get some use out of these. I wish I was a false eyelash girly, but I just know that I'm not. I did buy a eyelash glue eyeliner pen from the brand Kiss recently, so I want to play around with that as well. And like I said, see if I can just get myself to use both of these. And so I'm looking forward to playing around with these, so we'll see. But thank you so much for watching. That is it for my project pan intro. If you like project panning, or if you just want to follow along, make sure to subscribe and check out my next project pan update in about a month. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. Bye.